Hi everyone, Joe and Zach here, Pittsburgh Realtors. We're here to interview today Rick Schrum and Matt Sokol from West Penn Financial. They're our in-house lender for Berkshire Hathaway. We work with them a lot and we know them really well, so we thought it'd be great to hear their side of things from the mortgage lending part. Zach and I do the real estate, showing houses, selling houses part. So Matt, what made you decide to become a mortgage lender?
Great question, Joe. Thanks for having us first.
Yeah.
And how did I get into mortgage lending is basically twofold. One, I started in college and knocked down a path that I knew where it was going to end. Ended up with a psych background and came out, looking for an industry that I could help people. And always being good with numbers, the mortgage industry became a way that I could combine those two fields that I felt that I was that I could excel in and still be able to help people.
Good answer. What are some of the oddest requests that you have? And let's keep it nice.
Keep it nice and keep it relatively short because there's definitely a few that
A little bit of a list,
I
right?
could think of. I know a couple off the top of my head. I know I've driven all around the city to collect different pieces of information, documentation, McDonald's, restaurant here, there. I know one time I was requested to actually file someone's tax returns, which I obviously cannot do or oblige with, and in some cases is needed for the mortgage process, but that's a whole different day and a whole different conversation.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would streamline the mortgage process if you did that.
That is your
Their
one-stop
tax
shop.
returns form.
I would rather get a mortgage than do my taxes.
Yeah.
This one's both for Rick and for Matt. What do you think your greatest challenges are in lending?
The biggest thing that I think in the mortgage industry is an understanding of what is actually going on. It's somewhat learning almost like a new language, and also, through the processes, what's going to happen next, and what's happening now, how's this affect the next part of the transaction. So it's kind of like a chain of events that, we try to put together, knowing that our greatest challenges is understanding the process so that, everybody can have a better experience, because I think they have a better experience when they understand it as far as that goes. So,
Right.
And that goes right into what I would say is the biggest challenge is just kind of ironing out in the beginning of the process the assumptions that a customer may have about the mortgage process or the home buying process. That's really one of my number one goals, is just to basically get it down to ground zero, start from scratch, and then build it up so that customer knows what to expect. And again, no assumptions throughout.
Right, so one of the things Zach and I often talk about with, buyers is when they start to look, we want to get them pre-approved. So they often get a deer in the headlights look when you ask them to get a pre-approval, like how long will it take, what do I have to do? They get kind of anxious and nervous about it. So maybe you could share with people. I always tell them, I kind of preface it a little bit by saying it's not really that bad of a process. You can call on the phone, you can talk to a lender, they'll ask you a few questions. It usually doesn't take a lot of time, and it's not very invasive the first time around. So maybe you could give a little insight on that.
yeah, one of the things that we try to do is take sort of the intimidation out of it. It's a matter of getting some information, working, with you then, the buyer, on your financial goals, what you may want to accomplish. I think definitely there is that part of people out there that are tentative or not sure, again, of what to expect. But one of the things that we do is we try and work with each individual to go over their own financial goals, or how they want to achieve things, and just get a basic interview and get to know them a little bit as far as that goes.
And it is just as simple as them giving you a call on your cell phone. That's the biggest hurdle that they're going to have to overcome, is making that first call, and it's pretty smooth after that.
Number one thing to do best way to get it started, give me a call on my cell phone, and then we can take it from there. We understand it is a stressful process, buying a home. We want to make the mortgage not a stressful process, and getting pre-approved, pre-qualified is, that is one of our main goals, to make sure, hey, we got you here, and this is just going to be our solid foundation that we can build on throughout the transaction.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. What are some non-real estate related favorite things of yours to do, just to liven it up a little bit and get to know you a little bit more?
Right. I lead this one off here. So when it comes to fun, I'm ready. I know one of the things, around the area, and I love being outdoors, is, hitting up Shenley Park when that's available. If I have the option there, being outside, we can golf, and then I play pickleball for the first time this summer, which is more of a workout than I anticipated, and just a great time. So that's what I would say. Getting to Shenley Park on a nice Pittsburgh day, hard to beat.
I definitely agree there, Matt. Restaurants, brews out there, the evolution of how Pittsburgh is sort of transforming itself. It's pretty cool out there, so I like to visit, a lot of the things in the city around the area, just to, stay up with it too. It's kind of cool to see this city growing, so.
Yeah, it is. It's changing right before our eyes.
Yeah.
One thing I've always wondered is, have you ever met a past client out and about in the real world? And what was that like? Was it, I'm sure it was a friendly reintroduction, but
Yeah.
how many times has that happened to you over the years? Both of you.
Yeah, so for me, it happens often, and it gives you a feeling of that the teamwork that it took to get the house, along with the real estate agent. You almost feel like you really know the person because of what you went through, and there's an appreciation for me on both sides. One is helping them, no doubt, but the other thing is the appreciation of the faith that they put into me to get them, through the process, and the questions that you were asked and things like that. So it's pretty cool. It really is.
Yeah, I've ran to a few, and it's always exciting, because you do
Yeah.
so much in such a short kind
Yeah.
of vacuum of time during the transaction, that after, sometimes, it's not as, obviously we're not going to spend as much time together. So seeing him outside in like a real world setting where we're, kind of, even more relaxed is always exciting, always fun, and we can always reminisce on, the transaction that it was.
The 45-day window of your life.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that I think is part of my job, and also probably part of yours, is to, we mentioned this being kind of stressful at different times. Like, how do we make this as least stressful as possible for the buyer and seller? And I often will ask them when I'm working with them, what do you do for fun? Like, if you need to relax, do you go to the gym? Do you go to church and pray? Do you go to the casino? What are those kind of things you do? Because there's going to be a few days in the transaction where I just have to do the work, and I know I'm going to tell them, don't worry about it. Try not to worry about this. Go and do something to take your mind off it. So what do you guys do in your personal lives after you're done with mortgages for the day? If you've had a rough, stressful day, what do you do to relax and forget all about mortgages and houses and that sort of thing?
Right. Great question. Something I've definitely been doing, and it added to my day, is I have a young daughter, 4 months old, and that's like my number one. Absolutely, if I do have every time that I spend with her, I'm just trying to take every moment, for what it is, and all the cliches of being a parent for the first time has been just it's been everything I expected and more, and it's just so much fun. So when in doubt, that's what I'll be doing. We'll be hanging out, rolling around, trying to talk, whatever it may be. It's been a blast.
We'll make sure she sees this.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's a good one, Matt. For me, it's funny. It's a time to catch up on a lot of things that you wanted to do. Also, getting out and about, in the area. One of the reasons why I live in this area, I went away to college, came back, my family's from around here, and friends, a lot of friends. It's just, really getting out to see them and enjoying this area of the country as
Right.
far as that goes.
Great. Well, thank you guys for coming in, talking a little bit
Yeah,
about the
thank you.
mortgage business with us, maybe explaining to some of our potential clients how it all works. And
Thank you.
like I said, these guys are our in-house lender. They work with us. We vouch for they do a fantastic job. You can reach them through us or directly on their cell phones really easily, and answer questions even on off hours sometimes. So
Sure.
appreciate you guys coming in. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks
Absolutely.
for having
Thank
us.
you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening.